Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning's Messages of Love from Above. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy weekend to you. And let me just get my desktop all set up here and we will get into it. All right. Get that stretched out here. All right. Get this to live. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I think we are just about set here. Let's see. All right, so there's YouTube saying that we're live, so we are good to go. All right, so, okay, almost ready. There we go. All right, so I'm excited for today's messages of love. But before we begin, let's bring in some love and allow ourselves to fill up with that love and then spread out to the world. So if you'd like to join me, whether you're watching live or even on replay, we can join together outside of space and time and multiply the love out to the world because we know it can definitely use it, right? So I'm going to start by taking just a big deep breath in, hold it for a moment. And then as I release, let the chaos of the world fall away. And then we'll replace it with unconditional love when we use the singing bowl. So like to join me, big deep breath in, hold for a moment, and release. Beautiful. And then of course I've got the singing bowl, so we will hit it 3 times, and each time just imagine the big waterfall of unconditional love falling down into your heart, your soul, your body, your mind, your life, and filling it up and then flowing out to the world. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Let me just put her back on her little perch back here. Let her finish her song out. All right. So, happy weekend, everybody. Good to see everyone. Hope you're well and enjoying your moments. You'll notice I'm a little higher. I'm in the process of changing my office around and had switched tables, which was a lower table and a different type of chair. And I just am in the mood for changing it again. So you're going to see changes over the next week as I switch my office around, and I'm going to go back to my beautiful black and white tapestry, my ohms, because I love those. So change. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So before we get into the readings, just a quick note here. If you were waiting to come in earlier, you might have seen the video. And here's a link to the video that talks about setting your YouTube channel membership gifting to on if you're interested in being part of the monthly giveaway. YouTube does give me 10 free Zen Cricket memberships to give away. I just click a little button, and then YouTube and Spirit decide and grants them. The first Saturday after the first of the month, which will be next Saturday, I'll give 5 away in the morning and 5 away in the evening. Since I have an international audience, I like to kind of split it up so that everyone has an opportunity. Yeah, so that's it for that there. My Zen Cricket memberships are $2.99 a month, and they include you get advanced access to any of my pick a cards, my monthlies, my solstice equinox quarterlies, and anything else I do in advance. All my members, my Zen Cricket and my Praying Mantis, get advanced access to all that. And then on Wednesday nights, we also have a cozy chat where all of my members we can chat about my podcast, from chaos to cozy, or just about chaos and how to make it more cozy. So all that's part of that if you're interested. And then my praying mantis get all of that. Thursday nights we have a 2-hour Q&A, and then after each of the 5 free sessions that I do, I actually have an hour that I spend with my praying mantis members too. So all of that is $7.99 a month. And if you're interested in any of that, the link is in the description box of the video, or if you go to my main page, bruddaZEN.com, it lists everything I offer, and memberships are listed there too, talking about what's included in everything with those. And part of because of my monthly members and anyone that makes donations during these sessions, anyone that purchases any of my other services that are listed on my webpage, because of you guys and my lovely host who allows me to live here rent-free, um, I'm able to do a lot and provide everything that I do. So I'm so grateful to everyone. I always like to make sure everyone's aware of everything not everything, but a lot of stuff that I do that I offer for free, so that you guys can hear those messages too. So each week I have at least one pick a card. And this week's was the Leo new moon alert. Every new moon we have 10 free wishes, and this talks about in the beginning how to make the most of those new moon wishes, plus a pick a card for all of us, which this one is what unseen thing is being spotlighted for you to see. And then every month, also, as the sun moves into a new zodiac sign, I actually have Leo, like the seasonal change every month. So this is Leo season. So happy birthday to all you Leo sun babies. I know I've got a lot of you out there. And this one has a pick a card for all of us. But for Leo sun babies, there's a 3-month forecast for you. So be sure to check that out. And if you have any Leo suns in your life, make sure to forward that to them as well, so that and wish them a happy birthday from their big brother Zen. And then this month we have a special one coming up on August 8th. I was going to put this out next Wednesday, which was when it was normally going to be scheduled, but Spirit had me push it out last Saturday, because the Lionsgate portal is when the sun is in Leo, the constellation is aligned with us, and the Earth and Orion, and then also Sirius A star. And so there's this special gateway connection, this portal that opens up. And this time around, we've actually it's a special one. This change of going into the age of Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, we got a lot of change that's going to be in the air overall of next year. So from August 8th of this year to August 8th of next year, this pick a card has 8, yes, 8 gateways that we can access during that time, so we can keep coming back to it as well. But I talk about what the Lion's Gate is, and then we dive into all those pick a cards, and they were pretty amazing, I have to say. I love the messages that came through. So we'll be using those for sure. And then also each month I put out monthlies. August monthlies are out there. I can't believe August is here in a few days. It's crazy. But this one is for each individual zodiac sign. We dive deep into it. So be sure to check that out. We also do the astrological Zenergy, talking about the big planetary energies that Spirit wants to share. So You can take a look at those too. And then I have the solstice readings for the winter summer solstice that came out last month, and they're good for 3 months. This one, Spirit wanted to focus on relationship readings. I know. So it's for each individual zodiac sign. And then within each one of those, we've got single and looking, and then also married or in a relationship. And then the happy hermits who are not looking for a relationship, and enjoying their journey with spirit. So relationship isn't just romance, it's relationship to spirit and the world and everything as well. So be sure to check all those out. I think, was that it? I also have a podcast which was weekly. I'm changing it to monthly, but I also have what I'm bringing in, cozy Care Bears, which are so far it's going to be 3 individuals so far from my praying mantis group. We get to know each other more because it's a very small group of individuals at this point. And so you learn about people's chaos, and I invited some of them to share their chaos and the tools and different modalities and things that they use to help or have helped move them from their chaotic life and experiences into a more cozy place. So this one is Sue. She's the first one up, and she does a lot with water. It's funny. One of them pointed out, I've got someone who's water, someone who's air with breath work, someone who's earth with like shamanism and different type of herbs that we'll be talking about. So I love I love how spirit works with all that. All right, so that's all the blah blah blah. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of all that free stuff that's out there. So we'll get into it now. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome first of all. And how the free readings work, I do go down in order, first come, first serve. A whole process is listed in the description box of the video too, if you want to check it out. But you just put your question out in the chat. There is no special list. The chat be it, and you just put your question there. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading. Spirit knows. We'll pull cards, see what comes through. But if anyone makes a donation, you can see there's a lot of donations today. Thank you guys so much. You guys blow me away. But when anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, prioritize those, step out of the free readings. I dive deeper into these as well. Usually free readings are 1 to 2 cards, but I dive deeper with spirit into these questions. And then once I'm done, I return back, continue down. If I don't get through a lot of the free readings, sometimes I don't get to them in this session, and then I go spend an hour with my praying mantis, usually eat, and then I come back in and complete anything I didn't finish in the morning session. I'm blessed to be able to do that. So we will get to you because I know not everyone can donate. So I like to serve my community and come back on and finish those up. So I'm going to be using the Tarot Originals, and I might even go back and forth. I got these circular cards. I got Circle of Life Tarot too. So I might jump back and forth in between them because I like change. It's how I work. So we'll get into it here. So many blessings, everybody. Hey, everybody, and shout out to some of my YouTube channel members. We have Johanna. Hello. And HTTPS is also, you'll see their names in green with a little badge. Hey, peace. Let's see. Scroll up here. And then we actually have one of our winners, our Zen Cricket winners from last time, Kritika. Hey, Kritika. Hello. All right. So let's get these shuffled and get the show on the road. I'm just going to take a quick sip here too. Get some coffee in me. All right. So Nova, Supernova, hello. Here we go. We have the little fruit offering with a little peach. So thank you for your first donation there. And number one, we have what do you need to know right now from your spirit guides? All right, let's take a look here. See what spirit wants you to know right now from your spirit guides. On occasion, I do also, of course, have a little bit of oracle I put out here. I'll have more now that I'm going to use my bigger table because I was limited on space before, but now I can spread out more. All right. So what do they need you to know here? Well, I love that. Starting off here, you've got the bottom of the deck. You have the full card coming in, which is all about new beginnings, a new adventure. It's the first card in the major arcana, and it follows the world card, which was the ending of old cycles. So I like this new adventure, this new um, adventure, free of a lot of rules and free of expectations, and it's more enjoying the moment. It's like a little child energy, which I think you're Leo fire, which has that energy of world of possibilities. If we can get out of our head from all this influence we've had, and we're like, the lions don't like to be caged, the fire signs don't like to be caged and contained, because if you have like a candle that's contained, it burns up all the oxygen and right. So it wants to be open and like a fire pit, full of oxygen, full of warmth, full of brightness. And I like this kind of energy that's coming in here because I feel like you are embarking on a new adventure. Let's see what it comes in here. So your first card that came up, not on the bottom of the deck, is the Ace of Swords. So new beginning, Ace, right? New way of thinking, new way of clarity on how you want to approach things, where you want to go. And this makes sense with the full card because it helps cut away our small t truths that are rooted in fear of losing conditional love, right? So it is this release, this seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing the like a lion seeing the bars of a cage, going, nope, I'm not going to be caged by that stuff. Cha cha cha, cutting it away and all that. Feels like that, right? Yeah. Well, it's an internal adventure, and well, you definitely have. Here's the death and rebirth and the movement of thought and belief here. So, um, but it is about, you know, getting movement of mind is a huge thing. They're showing me like someone in prison, and there's people in prison that are more free than people who are not because they freed themselves with their mindsets. And you can close your eyes. You can close your eyes right now. Everyone, close your eyes right now. And in an instant, just imagine yourself sitting on the moon. We're all sitting on the moon in a circle, looking down at Earth, sending it love. In that moment, we're there and we can be there, and you can be anywhere. And so outside is strictly a mindset, right? I can be anywhere in the world. I can be, in fact, when I'm reading and communicating with you guys, I feel like I'm with every single one of you all across the world, right? Don't worry, I don't judge homes or what you're wearing or anything. Everyone's like, oh my gosh. No, no. In spirit, in spirit. Don't turn around. I'm not there. I don't want to scare you. But, we can all be there. And I like this freedom that comes in here. Yeah, the 10 of Pentacles. We have everything we need right inside of us. I just feel like that's not the normal way I read this, but it is this change of how we see the world when we realize it's all energy. It all returns back to energy eventually, but it all turns back to the energy of what we're made of. We're made of unconditional love energy. This human, if you could magnify and magnify and magnify and magnify, you would see little little bundles of energy with wide space in between it. So, we really are not, you know, but you've been wearing the same time to do some wash. But yeah, so it's all a change of mind and a choice of mind, of thought, right? It's like, you know what? I'm changing things today. I'm going to change clothes. I'm going to shower again. I'm going to eat. And, I just feel like it's getting out of your normal mindset into something new. And this is what this journey is. Yeah. Because you even have the world card, which is exactly what I was saying. So, full circle, we're letting go of, the old cycles. It's the ending of old things, the beginning of new. Yay! I'm so proud of you. I know it seems like a small thing, but I get it. When we're in a certain place, it's like it just takes a little. Don't focus on the end, and don't even focus on tomorrow so much as this moment. And I have enough energy for this moment. What am I going to do? When we try to spread out the energy of the moment into a lot of moments, there's not enough because you'll get new energy for the next moment. If you're trying to split it out, you feel exhausted, right? So it's like this next moment, what I'm going to do in this next moment, and then what's the next step? What's the next step? And to have movement with that. So that's what spirit wants you to know right now. I feel like if you feel like you're stuck, why do you feel stuck? Is that true? If you're locked into your apartment, or they don't allow you outside legally, or you know if you have an ankle monitor and you can't leave, it's like we can leave here and we can travel the world and the universe and other dimensions all in here. So I love that. So many blessings to you for that one. Hey, Kaylin. Hello, everybody. All right, I'm glad that's helpful. And we'll look at number 2. You have the nope sticker. So thank you for your additional donation. Here's question number 2. You want to know, what do spirit guides want you to see or acknowledge about yourself just to make it easier? I know, right? Easier? Why do you want it easier? They know this humanity, they it is tough. Humanity is tough. It's one of the more, I want to say, difficult experiences that the human, that we all go through, right? And so I do like this, awareness, because it's like we know it's not easy, and that's why we're here to support you all the time, right? And that's at the bottom of the deck here. You have the 2 of Cups, which is our relationship to our higher self, to spirit, and all the mirrors of the outside world. But this is more, I feel like they're saying this is all about, you know, that we all are all supported so much. We have multitudes, thousands upon thousands of beings of unconditional love and light that surround us and support us. We have those that are, really, here, in our, around our, you know, spirit, I guess, because we're really all next to each other on the other side. It's a whole nother story, but we've got those that are more enmeshed with us, the spirit guides, like the representatives, because our human can't handle a relationship with 10,000 people. It's too overwhelming. So they kind of have representatives that represent, groups that support us. So, but you are very well supported. And just to make life easier, just to say that you're never, ever alone. We ask to be left alone sometimes in our lives. And, I always talk about, we have a honey-do list that we give spirit before we come down here, going, all right, these are the things I want to experience when I go down there. They're like, got it. And then when we're down here, they're always working on that, but we can, of our own free will, because they really honor it. They don't want to um, disrespect it. So they don't meddle in our life outside of what we asked them to come down here and what we ask them of our own free will here. So we can ask for, you know, um, this, answers, for signs, just for comfort, just, the best, most sincere prayer, and request to spirit is help. And that's all it takes is of our own free will. Yeah. Yeah, all supported, and it's like sometimes it's just reaching out with our heart. We don't have to say words. It's our heart going, "Help me," and spirit is there, and you can feel it. You'll feel warmth. You'll get confirmation because when we take one step towards spirit, they take 10 steps towards us, and those are big honking steps. They're huge. Um, so, they are so with us all the time. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So confirmation of that. That's the bottom of the deck. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. This is being alone with spirit. So that's spirit on our hand there, that little hawk. So that's being taking time to connect with spirit makes us stronger. And uh yeah, and they'll give us direction. But the Page of Cups is this higher love that we feel when we connect with spirit, and it's the love that we're looking for. The Three of Wands is this change of direction, and we alter our energy when we connect with that love from above. I mean, that's why I like doing the singing bowl in the beginning of each session because it's just a wonderful reminder. I have a meditation that I do that helps center me, and it's just a four part, and I have it somewhere on my page to where I actually talk about each of the four and actually go through the meditation. But it's if you start off with I am unconditionally loved. Just sit in that, and that's that energy coming in with the singing bowl in the beginning. It's I am unconditional love. Nothing I can do to lose it, nothing I have to do to earn it. I just am. And then you realize as you're filling up that I'm actually made of that unconditional love. And then you just feel this, wow, I'm eternal. I'm powerful. I'm supernatural. I'm more than this character. I'm this being that is huge and expansive and limitless and powerful. And then I fill up and then it flows out to the world and it's I unconditionally love the world. Start seeing everyone that they are more than just they're human too. But I realize I can let this love flow out. I don't need anything from them. I'm giving that. But then also I get flooded back and I realize step four is the world is made of unconditional love. The world unconditionally loves me. And even though the characters are playing really good characters for my sake, for my mirror, for my reflection, behind every one of those actors is a powerful being who's made of unconditional love too. And it is just transformative because when you sit in that, you don't need to change the world. The world is perfect. How everyone is treating me is out of unconditional love and it's for me. And so I can look at, okay, I know you're being a douchebag, but why did I want this to happen for me? What is it showing me, right? So I like that. That's what these other ones are here. Yeah. And it helps the conflict. We have the conflict between our head and our heart. And that's what comes in is, you know, we have this battle. The reason why all this lower vibrational experience feels uncomfortable is because we never experienced it before over on the other side. It's new, it's different, it's uncomfortable because it's unusual. We're not used to feeling small and restricted and powerless. And so when we feel that, we can remember, oh, I came down here to experience this to contrast it right next to the, the higher. Uh, I was just thinking because, well, we got black and white back here, but that's why I like my tapestry that we'll go back to because it's a giant beige tapestry with black ohms all over it. And if it was all beige, you wouldn't see it, or all black, you wouldn't see the design and realize who we are. But it's the contrast between the two that allows the beautiful design of who we really are to be seen. And I feel like it's important to know that as well, because I feel like that makes it easier as we go through this wonderful journey of humanity, right? And we've got here the Seven of Pentacles, which is enjoying the journey, the last fruit that grows, it's the last thing that grows on the fruit tree. And the Queen of Cups is connecting with spirit. It's kind of like the coming back to the now when we're freaking out. It's usually because we're in the future or the past. We're afraid of what's going to happen, but we're like, what, I'm always going to have enough for this moment. And I like my host and I, we have this little, whenever weird things hit, we're just like, well, we've had a good life, I'm like, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But it brings us down to that, a saying of, I'm either going to get through this moment or I'm not. And in either case, I'm going to be fine. Because I'm either going to get through the moment and then I'll be fine, or I'm not going to, and I'm going to be dead. And then I'm going to be on the other side, which is no taxes, no pain, no stress, no fear. It's like, oh darn, I'm going on vacation. It's like, oh well, but of course it's trusting like, oh, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I'm going to live the most I can in this moment. And I feel like that's important with all that. So that is for that. And just like a spirit. Well, it's funny. I was thinking about that this morning about because I've been getting some beautiful comments on my videos, and I'm so appreciative that the messages from Spirit resonate because I feel like I'm like like a radio speaker that I just am the song. I don't create the song, and this is good for you. I don't create the song, but I am I've learned to tune in so that the song comes through clearly, but I'm just voicing the song from above. I'm just bringing the messages through. And I'm like, their messages are so powerful. I learn so much when I'm channeling messages from spirit about my own life and life in general. Because I am human and I'm just the speaker. Like I allow them to use my vocal cords, but what I, am grateful for is that they have brought me on a journey to learn to shut up and listen. And that's the clarity. They've taught me how to turn down my fear noise, turn up my frequency of unconditional love so I can hear clearly. But it's like the messages. It's like learning how to get on the internet and then you have all this information. In this case, the real internet is true. Our human internet, don't believe half of what you read on there, but when you access them, you can. So I love that. And then you as with your music too, it's like, yeah, I'm the instrument through which spirit plays, right? And that's how you are. So I love that. All right. Yeah, right. It always Yeah, when you eventually go to counseling, talk to them about your obsession with poo. Maybe you were a monkey in a past life. That's funny. All right. So so that is what they have for that. Oh, the number 3 is a banana. Go figure. Ooh, ah, ah, ah. So for number 3, I think I saw you just put it down here. There it is. It is funny. It is funny. Uh, my sister-in-law, I just have a brother, so my favorite sister-in-law, because she's my only sister-in-law, she would tell me, "You and your brother," because we're kinda crazy, um, you know, but, you probably get that threw it at everyone in the past life, right? Exactly. But he would send her, poop emoticons all the time. Like from work, "Guess what? I just did." And she's like, "Oh my god." But it's funny, you just have to be, it's that fun energy. So I like that. All right. So thank you for your banana sticker and donation, the multiple donation. Anyone, any helpful messages or advice from Kurt? Yeah, I like connecting. I'm glad you asked him because I do like his energy. I can relate to his energy a lot too. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not my fault. Pooh's funny. All right. So, of course, we do want to go to the Gateway Oracle because he likes his stories. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, look at this. Good. Awakening Ancient Wisdom. Here's the Ace of Cups again. I think he had something like this yesterday too, where it's filling up and overflowing with that love from above. And it says, deep inner knowing is emerging within me. Um, so I like that. Let's see what I'll open right up to it. Thank you. So the card meaning the wisdom of the ages dwells within you. Just sit with that for a moment. And this is great for everyone. The wisdom of the ages dwells within you, dwells within us, right? And it's arising now. The chalice of wisdom is being offered to you. Pay attention to the coincidences, signs, and synchronicities around you. Profound enlightenment is growing within you, even if you're not aware of it. So, Kurt wants you to know that the wisdom of your ancestors, your predecessors, and all of history exists deep within you, even when you were a monkey. I threw that in there. An inner portal is opening as this sacred information pours into your consciousness. You've always possessed innate knowledge, but at this juncture, simply by being still, you're able to access it with even greater perception. You are a wise being, and your wisdom is very supportive and helpful to others. I like that. Questions that you can ask yourself. To understand a dream, a sign, or synchronistic event, ask yourself, if this symbolized a message from the ancients or from Kurt, what would it be? What message is he bringing in? How can I access even more wisdom within myself? And how can the wisdom of the past help my present and my future? Yeah, I love that. Wise, wise. Yeah. And I like that because there is a great amount, and I feel like they're it's like Kurt's wanting you to see how eternal you are and how powerful and expansive you are, and that this human is just a piece on a board game, but you're the being behind that little board piece, and you're filled with ancient wisdom. You're so much more. You're so much more. And I feel like that would be, if you wanted to summarize his messages, you're so much more than you've ever been taught to believe. And you're opening up more and more and more to realize who you are. And I like that. Yeah. And your messages do help people. And I like that too, that we can all relate, and that's what I've been getting a lot of lately. People sometimes will listen to these entire sessions, and even though if they don't ask a question themselves, they'll comment and say, I've learned so much about my own life just listening to others. And it's true that we all are on such similar parallel journeys, that it's just like different settings, different characters, but the morals of our story, like the wisdom we glean, is so similar that we can apply things to our lives. And so don't underestimate the impact of your voice, of your stories, of what you've learned, you know um you know to share with everyone. So even a monkey throwing poo, we realize, what? I see human monkeys throwing poo all the time, especially during political season here in the United States. They're throwing poo all the time. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not that he's not restricted. He has a high picture view of everything. So I like that. So that is what Curdy Pie has for you. And then I didn't see question 4 yet, so if you have your 4th question, the black kitty, throw that down there, and while you're doing that, so just for everyone, I've got the quadruple coming here from Nelia next, so we'll be having 4 questions for her, and then infinity, and then HTTPS, and then Johanna, double whammy, thank you, and that's what we'll have so far, with the donations. All right, so number 4, what else would Kurt wanna share? Absolutely. And I'm glad because I felt like I was like, I wanted to go to both of these decks, but they wanted to go to that gateway one first because they have the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Let's see what else they want to share here. Oh, that was loud. Sorry. Forget I'm on this big wooden table. Oh, wow. So you got the unexpected, the blue moon. And what's cool with this, and I like this, like, you can lean on my shoulder when you need help. And the blue moon energy. So this Capricorn full moon that we just had last week, somewhere around, it's like within a week ago or so. That was the second Capricorn moon that we've had. Uh, every once in a blue moon. Usually every full moon is moving through the zodiac, and but this time, every once in a while, the degrees are where the full moons are both in the same sign, which we had a full moon in Capricorn in June. We had just had a full moon in Capricorn again, which makes it a blue moon. So that is powerful. And then next month we'll have a Aquarius full moon. But so there was just a blue moon. But then one of the other things that can happen is whenever within a season, there's usually 3 full moons, but every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, we have 4, and next month is also a blue moon. So you have 2 blue moons in a row, which is not normal. And so I love this energy of like this is the time. And so I like this blue moon energy. So this blue moon coming up in I think August is going to be significant too, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is sudden, odd, unusual, unexpected things. So I like that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And, I love that you can sense them. It says, no matter how well you plan, there's always room for the unexpected to occur. Build your resilience as rare occurrences can happen. A visitor you have not seen in a long time may re-enter your life. Ooh. The little affirmation for this is I trust in myself and in life. In the old farmer's almanacs, a blue moon was described as the third moon, well, in a season that has 4 full moons. The newer and now more accepted description is that a blue moon is when there are 2 full moons in a calendar month. There's actually 3 astrologically. It's the when 2 moons appear in a calendar month, the third when there's 4, and then the other one I talked about. So now we know all 3. There's going to be a test later, so make sure you take notes. Either way, it is a rare occurrence and has inspired the saying once in a blue moon when describing an event or behavior that only happens rarely. The energy and power of the blue moon can be best taken advantage of by setting intentions on these moons of things that you really want but have never felt could happen. I refer to big wishes, the almost miracle stuff we would both be delighted and surprised about if manifested. After setting blue moon intentions, though, don't sit there hoping it will just happen. Like you're saying, take action, right? Try to take clear, practical steps towards these big, seemingly far away intentions and help the universe along. Some of us love surprises, some of us don't. But I don't think anyone can go through life without sometimes having the unexpected happen to them. And while some professions in particular, such as the military and medicine, try to plan for everything that could go wrong, life sometimes finds a way to outsmart the most thorough of plans. This is simply life. Although it is important for us to know where, how, and why we're traveling down a particular path, we could always make room for and expect the unexpected. And the companion stone for this is Benetweet. It's a very rare blue gem. So I like that. So expect the unexpected, but I like this blue moon wishes and help the universe along. Like, you were saying, time to act, time to, have movement and yeah, going on. Yeah, you're being watched. Is Moo? Is your cat watching you? They're like, come on, bap, bap, let's go. So I do like that. All right. So that is what they have for you from Curdy Pie. But I like that. Set some clear intentions, take action, write down a few steps, and start taking action on things today, right? It's like, all right, I'm preparing my music. I want to live my dream. What's the next thing? It's to get healthy, stay healthy so that I can, go to this music night, share my music, you know, um, I'm going to, do I want to record some videos? Do I want to get them on, YouTube? And I think you put them out on TikTok. I'm not a big TikTok person yet, but it's like, what do you want to do? Put plans together and then take action. Because if you feel like you're not doing anything, that's when you get down in the dumps. But when you're living your dream, you spend less time focusing on the lower stuff, right? So there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Righty, right. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. You definitely have that inside. Boom, boom. All right. So that's what they got for you, my dear. Thank you again for your multiple donations and much love to you. All right. So, Nelia, thank you for your multiple donations. And we've got the kitty cat or the fox. I think it's a cat. It's a cat or a fox, but the smiling one. So, thank you for that donation. So, you have new neighbors that just moved in next door. Ooh. What are they like? Will you run into problems with them in the near future? Only if you focus on them, Nelia. Do you want problems? Then focus on, what I really enjoy, Spirit, is when I have problems with my neighbors. And then you'll manifest them because that's how powerful you are. But let's see what Spirit wants you to know about your new neighbors. All right, those there. All right, boom, boom, boom. All right. So what do we have here? All right. So we do have the moon card on the bottom of the deck. So I like this energy, though. It's very Mother Luna kind of energy, Cancer sign, emotional energy. So I feel like it's like a pond. I'm just seeing this pond in my third eye, right? And so they built a pond next door, and if you throw rocks in the pond, you're gonna feel the ripples. If you know, sprinkle the koi food to the koi in the pond, they're gonna eat it up and they're gonna grow, and it's gonna be very serene and beautiful. So am I gonna feed it with nourishment, or am I going to throw rocks and have it explode? and uh, and I like this. So in one in I don't know if you bake or if you do anything. I feel like if you welcome them with some sort of baked good or something like that, um, introduce yourself and just say, "Hey neighbor, I just want to introduce myself, say welcome to the neighborhood." And I baked I baked some brownies, I baked this, or, I made you some cookies or whatever. Or if you don't bake or whatever, you can buy them if you're like, well, I wouldn't want someone to bring me baked goods because I don't know how they live, Ew. But if they brought me something packaged, then maybe it'd be like, okay. But I like that. I like that type of analogy coming in. We have the Knight of Pentacles, so I feel like it's a slow, like they're going to be there a while because I don't feel like they're going to move fast. Is what I'm getting with that. So it's important to really um, um, just know that I am going to develop the relationship I want with them. I'm not at the whim, and that does take you facing your fears of deceit and facing your fears of things that have stolen from you in the past. So it's like, all right, and I'm going to, if I have any fears, anything that come up, I'm going to question where does that come from and why. This isn't them. This is an old ripple from an old pond that's rippling in my life, and that's for me to look at. But anything that comes up will be a mirror for you to transform, because that comes up. Am I going to run into problems with them? No, not unless you want to. But any problems that arise are in here, not out here anyway. People just do things, but this is where the problem starts, right? The story that it's actually this brain, this side, our left brain, is the one that developed through history in the past. It felt emotions from our left brain, emotional. It created protection and different stories up here, and then it is like, whoa, whoa, alert, alert, alert. We have our spiritual side of our brain, which can look at people with unconditional love and in the moment and not judge them from your past or your fear of the future, but just accept them and love them for who they are. I like that. And allowing them to be their true authentic selves, allowing yourself to be your true authentic self with the Three of Pentacles. But I like this too, this creation. It's what kind of relationship do you want to create with your neighbors, and do it, right? Because your energy and your actions, like your decision of your stories, your decision of your emotions, your decision of the energy that you put toward them, are you going to have gratitude for everything that you like about them, or we're going to focus on what we hate and grow that instead? But you also get to create that relationship by growing it. That's why I love feeding the koi fish. Are you going to feed them food? Are you going to feed them love and welcoming and that? Well, if you welcome them with open arms, then they're going to be like, wow, you know. Whereas if you watch them through your window and call the cops on them every time they do something, it's like, well, then you just created war, not love, right? Not that you would do that, but they're just showing you in the head the extremes between, how we can treat our neighbors and the type of thing. They're reminding me when my brother lived in Texas before they moved, they were having this battle with neighbors because they would coming through his grass and the kids would ride their bike. And so he got a webcam and he started to, because when he confronted and he's ex-military, so he probably confronted them as a sergeant in the army, not as a loving neighbor, but he got the result of that right back at him. And so that's the whole thing, is however we approach, just expect that if we approach with love, we'll get love. If we approach in defense, we're going to get attacks and defense too. So I like that. All right, so that's for the first one. Thank you so much for that, Nelia. And then, hey, you sticker, and thank you for this donation. So a general reading on Keen the dentist. All right. Is he a good guy? Will he and Megan get into a romantic relationship in the near future? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Is this the new office that they're working at? Let's take a look here. So what kind of person does Spirit want you to know about Keen here? And will there be relationship? All right, let's see what all this is here. So The bottom of the deck, we've got the World card coming in here, which is the ending of one cycle, beginning of a new adventure. I don't really feel because I think I don't know if it was you, someone asked about someone starting a new job, and this feels familiar. Which as many readings as I do, if it feels familiar, it's usually spirit telling me in. But they are like, I feel like she's starting a new job at a new place, and she's like, I don't, whatever situation, it's a new situation, and I don't feel like she wants to, like she's open to it right now. With that, we'll see what the other cards say here, but I kind of just coming into it. It's a whole new world, right? It's like Aladdin. Let's take a look here. So, what kind of person are they? Look like they're very upbeat and joyful with the Ten of Cups. So I feel like they definitely have, yeah, and even with that and the Three of Cups, which is joy and celebration. Very joyful, very upbeat. Aries energy with the Emperor card too. So fiery, and they're in this place in their life where they're really um like deciding what they want. They're very um determined. And that almost sounds a little negative, Tim. It's not, but it's a positive thing. Like they're very focused. That's a good word. Focused on their life. They really have a good grasp, I feel, on what they want. They've put a plan together and they're taking action toward it. And so I feel like they're just focusing on the joy and that they're moving, along in their life here. So I don't feel like they're necessarily focused on relationships yet. Like they're open to it, but I feel like they're focusing on developing their practice, they're paying off school and um school maybe but like getting debt free and getting a home and getting the foundation of everything, and then they kind of, their plan is all this and then relationship, but I want to be able to do all this first and travel and do this kind of stuff. I feel very fiery energy about adventure, and they're not looking to cage them their life yet. They're okay with it later. Like they feel, I want a relationship. I do want one, but right in the meantime, I want to enjoy all this and travel and experience and pay off stuff and get a solid foundation first. So I like this, a person with a plan. um, will there be romantic? Well, we've got the dreams come true, but we also have the tower coming in. Let me see what these other three cards are here, because this feels like there's something that happens. Let me see. Yeah, I don't, I don't feel like, I feel like it's kind of a warning. Like, yeah, that seems like a dream come true, but with the tower hitting it. And I mean, we've got the King of Pentacles, which is about abundance and fullness. And we have the Wheel of Fortune coming in, which is all about, that her ego self, her human self, is going to be fine with how things unfold. And the Nine of Pentacles is about being independent and being to oneself. So I don't feel like they get into a romantic relationship. I just feel like, when, if um Megan is interested in Keen, I feel like that as she gets to know him, that the dream that she might see, like, oh, I wonder, like, nope, he wouldn't. I just feel like they don't, the dreams of both of them don't really, mesh. I feel like they're like, I want this and this and this and this, and I don't think, Megan might be more security, and all that is good, but if you don't have love, what is it? And so when whatever they experience, it's like, again, Keen is kind of keen on traveling the world and having this and doing that and da 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 da, where they kind of almost come across to Megan as materialistic, and Megan's not that, right? I feel like she's like, okay, yeah, well, you go do your thing, you know. Um, she's not like she's like her romantic interest kind of goes. Psst. I feel that's what that tower is removing them out of her path, and it's on purpose, because there is someone that's more in alignment with Megan further on down the road. So that is what's coming in there. Um, oh, hey, no, sorry, I wasn't reading down here. I was going on. Blah, 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 blah. So, um, yeah, your new neighbors just are, and whatever character you need them to be with your energy is who they're going to be, which is amazing. Because if you go over with love and with a food offering, they're going to be like, wow, and they're going to be like, wow. If you don't go over and you just kind of don't talk to them and you pass them without really engaging with them, then they might be cold and distant. And if you are agitated toward them for anything, then they will turn into whatever monster or character you need for your story. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're like, yeah, you know what? And then we do. We our energy, we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are, right? So whatever you do is what you're going to get back with it. So I like that. All right. Glad you have some time with the kiddos. All right. So, and thanks for being here and thanks for all these donations. I appreciate it. So number 3 is Maniac, Maniac. I don't know. So she looks like Flashdance or whatever. But thank you for your additional donation here. So you'd like a general reading on Jennifer's health, all right? Of course, disclaimer for everyone is in the description box of the video. Of course, tarot is for fun. It's designed for fun. I'm not a licensed medical counselor, lawyer, financial person, or whatever, and ultimately everyone makes their own decisions. So that said, we'll pull some cards here and see what does Spirit want you to know about Jennifer's health? Is it real or is it in her head? Okay, they want it to go this way. All right. So, and is it something to be concerned about? Well, we got the Temperance card on the bottom here, which is all about patience and balance. And underneath that, we've got the 10 of Wands. We've also got the 10 of Pentacles. So all of this, I feel like there's a lot of stress. So it's funny because it's like, well, yeah, not. I don't feel like. Well, we'll see if they're saying there's something to be concerned about, but like some number you'll find on the internet, 90% of illness in the human body is stress related. 10 of Wands is stress about, and then the 10 of Pentacles is stress about the outside world. And so I do feel like there is a lot of stress that's existing, and that's what's impacting your body. There's a lot below the surface with the Moon card. So a lot of emotions that are bouncing around underneath. If you know what like symptoms and stuff they have, I think it's over here. Hold on. I moved it. I didn't put it back. See, that's what happens when you don't put things back. So, there's a great book, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And she has the disclaimer in the beginning, too, of her book. But you can even search the internet if you don't have this book. It's been around for decades. If you're interested, it's a wonderful, so many amazing things in the beginning. But it's a great kind of manual because it'll list like the illness, how it's showing up, and then what's the emotional thing behind it. And it gives you affirmations too. So we're going to put that back where it's supposed to go. But I feel like that's what's happening here with the Moon card and with this stress, because when the body is in stress and it goes into fight or flight mode because it's Um, there may not be physical danger in the outside world, but there's emotional monsters. And when we're in fear and things are triggering, then our immune system shuts down, our digestive system shuts down. We're flooded with all these chemicals to prepare us for fight or flight. And it's designed not to be long term, it's designed to be short term, which doesn't impact our body if we're only fearful every once in a while. But in our society, we have emotional monsters everywhere. And so that's why a lot of, especially in the United States, a lot of um, recycle in and out of fear so much. That's why it impacts our body. And so I feel like that's kind of, you know, that letting you know on that side that it's not just in her head, but it's in her emotions. So they are real. The body will communicate. So if you don't have the book and you search the internet, you can put like emotional and spiritual reason for blah, migraines, appendicitis, all the stuff, and you'll get all sorts of results. But follow whatever resonates, or if you recommend that to her, then she can look at it and go, what resonates with her? And then she's like, oh my god, yeah. And when we become less stressed, our bodies become, and we're out of fear and we're in peace and laughter and unconditional love, that higher vibration, our bodies are amazing. Healing machines even heals cancer and all sorts of things too. I like that. Now these other cards are interesting because there's one card in the middle and then three cards on either side. And what I saw in my head was Princess Leia from Star Wars. I don't know what this means, but I just go with it. But she was a brave soul. And even in her real life, Carrie Fisher, wow, she went through a lot of stuff. But Princess Leia in the movie, she faced off against Darth Vader, and so the heavy breathing going on in her life, it's like facing her fears will really help a lot. Let's see what this is about. Yeah. So getting balance in her life here is the middle card. So that's so perfect. Let's see what she's balancing in her life. Yeah. So on one side, we've got, this beautiful energy of, the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. There's this fear of not being true to her authentic self, and, you know, this boldness and stepping up to be herself. I was going to say, go look at it. Even has like the buns like Princess Leia in a way. So I like this energy coming in because she's trying to be something that she's not, and the fears of letting people down. Yeah. And then there's these deep emotional barriers that are going on here with the high priestess. She's able to dive deep into these emotional waters. Got the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Wands, this barrier to self-love that's coming in here. So there are a lot of emotional things below the surface that are impacting with all of that. Yeah, okay, and this confirms it for me too. You got the Six of Pentacles, and I've talked a little bit about it, and I'll throw it down here in the description box of the video. Not the description box. I can't believe I just said that. In the chat. um, which if you want to, this is all, it's about energy focus and the Six of Pentacles. So there's two videos there from my Take 10 with Zen playlist. And so if you feel comfortable sharing any of that, it's like whatever we focus on grows. And so when we focus on our fears, they expand and we draw things to us. But that Five of Pentacles talks about our out of balance giving and receiving that's bouncing around below the surface too, that can keep things away. So it might be a good little stepping stone there. And if she hasn't tried counseling, I highly recommend it because there are a lot of fears that are below the surface here that she can overcome and transform out of her life to allow her body to repair itself. and recover. So that is what is coming in for that one. So thank you for your third donation. And then, but I don't feel like there's, well, I mean, concerned about if she doesn't do anything about it, it will continue to expand. Other symptoms will come up. That's what happens when we push a lot of our emotions and stuff below the surface. If we don't allow our inner child and connect with them and transform these charged emotions below the surface, it's like putting having the inner child, they go into our basement, into our subconscious when we're young. When our brain starts to develop between 7 and 14, our emotional body, 7 years old and younger, gets kind of assigned to the basement. They're like, we can't have you expressing yourself like that anymore. We need you to go into the basement. And then while it's down there, it has all this emotion that it needs to express. And if we don't acknowledge it and transform it, these charged emotions, they start banging on the pipes in the basement. And all that goes up into the upstairs. And that's what happens. Eventually, it makes its way out from our emotional body into our physical body, into our mental body. And then, so if it's left going and going and going, then it just gets more and louder and until we pay attention to it. It's like a little kid going, mom, 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 So it's not concerning yet, but if it's left untreated, unsettled, then it can get much louder. All right. So that's what's coming in for that one, Nelia. And then for your last one, though, oh my gosh, you want to know here what Ali's life is like currently. Anything new? Oh, Ali. Will he come around again? All right, let's take a look here and see what's going on with him. You're very welcome. Let's take a sip here. All right, so what is going on with Ali? Will he come around the mountain again? All right. So, well, the bottom of the deck here, I guess that was hidden. All right. Come on. So we've got the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords isn't a bad card, even though it looks there. It's called the Nightmare and Insomnia card, which whenever I get the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords, even though maybe it's my Capricorn rising energy, but I like doing the work, and I love that when we get to the nines are like our internal journey, but also we're like getting to the point of ready for change. It's the 10 is the ending in the beginning. It's walking out the door, but the 9 is the decision to walk out the door on things. And the Nine of Swords is facing our fears and getting to the point of like, I'm just sick and tired of all these fears. Why am I feel blinded and bound and trapped, and it's keeping me awake at night. I'm dreaming about it. As soon as I wake up, it's on my mind, and I'm tired of it, just tired and exhausted. And so I feel like what they're in their life is they're at this point of getting ready to release a lot of stuff out of their life. Let's see what comes in here. Yeah. So they're definitely in the process of the moon is some emotions that are rising up, and they're walking away from emotions that don't serve them and relationships that don't serve them. So they are going through this kind of emotional inventory of what's below the surface, what they're investing, what relationships and that they're keeping alive that other people are not reciprocating. So it's like they're gathering back a lot of their emotional energy, both through what's charged and kept below the surface, and then also like the ones that they're giving, always 80-90% to others, and people aren't giving back to them. They're realizing this drive they've had to try to please so many people, with this Nine of Swords. That's part of the exhaustion, is the emotional investment they've been working with here. Yeah, and they've got here below the surface, there's this anger that's been boiling up with all this. So there's been some resentment that's been boiling regarding all of this. And it doesn't have to do with you. This has to do with their life and everything else. So, because you're not an energetic vampire, an emotional vampire. You tend to be on the overgiving side, right? Which I feel like is what they're dealing with because when you have two overgivers, it makes it uncomfortable because it becomes a competition. Who's going to overgive the most, And if someone feels they can't compete, then they will stop competing. I kind of feel like that may have been what happened here with obviously coming in here. But I feel like they're dealing with that. They're looking here again. So the Six of Pentacles came up over here about will he come back around once he balances things out like that. The video I just shared with the Six of Pentacles is their journey. So if you haven't checked that video out, I would really look at that because if you tend to be an overgiver, that's why these overgivers and um, this energy is around you because they're mirroring it for you to also set you free. I know I was there as well, where I felt I had to give so much to deserve little, and it was to family, to friends, to love, to work, to school. It was always overkill. Um, and then you realize I don't need to do all this, you know. So there's a lot of freedom that comes in that release and bringing that rate of exchange from 1,000 to one, where we feel we have to give 1,000 to deserve one, to 1 to 1. That brings down our force fields. It brings down other force fields, right? Yeah, right. It's a great thing to learn. I'm glad that is. Let's see what else they want you to know here. Okay. Yeah, I feel like they eventually will come back around if they do this balance because the change of energy with the Five of Wands to feeling more secure here with the Four of Pentacles is what would happen here. And then they are able then to be able to offer friendship and love and commitment. But I feel like they have to both of you like bring down your force fields because if your force fields are up and they try to come in, they'll get repelled out because your inner child will be like, no, we don't deserve that yet. Or if they haven't and they try to jump in, then their inner child will repel it out of their lives because it's like, no, we don't deserve that yet. So and I feel like that's what they're doing is they're doing that inner emotional work. They're realizing things. They're um, moving emotions like below the surface in those relationships out. And it's like when we kind of are building up an emotional savings account to be able to have the emotion to invest in a relationship, in a healthy relationship. And that could be kind of what you're going through too, right? You've been doing your shadow work and you're also evaluating what of the relationships in your life you are keeping on life support. You're the one that's breathing you're the one, come on, relationships, live. And if you're like, you know what, I'm going to let them breathe on their own. If it stops breathing, that means the relationship was to end, and I'm only going to keep my side of it alive. It's up to them to keep their side. And if they don't, it's all right. In relationships, they, with friends, family, lovers, whatever, is give and take. But if it's always give, then you're like, oh, let me just bring it back to here. And if they don't keep it alive, then it dies. So, and it feels like this is like this parallel that you're both going through to prepare, for a possibility of getting together later. But it's both of you to start working on that stuff. So, that's what's good because you don't want to do what you've done before and get what we've gotten before. We want something higher vibrational love, and that's what comes through with all that. So, all right. So that's what they got for you, Nelia. Thank you again for your multiple donations. I really appreciate those. And all your wonderful stickers, too. You guys and your stickers, I love them. All right. So next we have Infinity, and then we'll have HTTPS, Johanna. And then we got Nova, and then Moonlight. So that's where we're at right now, just to keep everyone in the loop. If you're waiting for your free readings, I'm going to be on for about 40 more minutes. If I don't get to a free reading, I will be back on in about an hour and a half after I head out, because I'll be spending like an hour with my praying mantis members and then eat, and then I'll be back on to complete everything out. So you'll get your answers. It'll just eventually today. All right. All right. So Infinity, you are up. Thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. So you have messages from Spirit about whether or not you'll be able to be successful in the hyperbolic career you're dreaming of. Oh, please don't say just make a plan or just take the first step because you feel like you're ready. Doing that, you're coming against walls, closed doors, and dead ends. Well, I will tell you what Spirit has to tell you. I by no means tell them what they should or should not tell you. But I'm sure they'll take it under advisement that you're wanting, I don't want just that, I need more. It's like, all right, we'll see what they're prepared to give you here. All right, so tell us about this hyperbolicness. All right. All righty. So what do we have happening here? So the bottom of the deck, you do have the 5 of Pentacles coming in, which has to do with feelings of lack and beliefs of lack and not feeling like you deserve this. And so, there is this energy here of that. You even have, let me see here underneath the deck here, because they have all these. You got the 5 of Wands and the Ace of Cups, and then also the Page of Swords. So you've got the physical world. So you've got all of them represented. You got the Pentacles, you got the Wands, the Cups, and the Swords. So there's all this stuff involved in this. And so there are these things that they're working on to help you see all of this, right? Because you've got the Hierophant, which is about your soul drawing you up and showing you the capital T truths of who you are, what you're able to do. And so they're saying here, I mean, you just have to kind of overcome the 5 of Pentacles and all these 5s, right? All this change of energy from lower vibrational to higher vibrational, and it has to do with self-love and seeing things from this higher place. And I don't know if it requires more education. The Page of Swords does show that, it's that accesses seeing things from a higher perspective, but can also have that energy come in. So, I feel like if you can transform this way of looking at, what's below the surface, and I probably have shared with the, the 6 of Pentacles, which comes after the 5 of Pentacles. It's that out of balance, like this desire, or this, it's not even a desire, it's a rule that's within you from your inner child, that you have to give so much to deserve so little. And it's about bringing that one to one, and then it opens up things, and then you can be very successful. But they're saying that this needs to change on the inside. It's about defining yourself inward and upward, not outward. Because when we define ourselves, that's retail price. The outside world, we do end up on the clearance rack, because everyone has different expectations and looking at different things. And so self-worth comes from inward and upward, capital S self. And when we connect with that, that's the Ace of Cups, then we feel priceless. We feel like we're full and overflowing. And here's Spirit bringing that to us. And then we are able to give to the world in such amazing ways. So I do feel like you can be successful in anything that you do. But when you feel like you're hitting blocks and you're hitting this, I feel like it's your inner child that's saying, you don't deserve this yet. You haven't given the proper 1,000 coins yet. You have given 777. So there's more to go. And it's like, what? But even if we're here thinking, no, I deserve this and da 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 da, da, our inner child and our subconscious world, they roll and they're over those force fields. So until we bring that out of balance, giving and receiving, to the surface, then we can change that and alter it, and these force fields fall, and then abundance that's been kept, we've been keeping it away with these force fields, our inner child's been keeping it away, love, promotion, whatever it may be that we want in our lives, that's what it's about here. So I understand now this Two of Cups in the middle is the relationship with you and your inner child. So there is this embracing this, developing this amazing, mature relationship. Let's see what these cards are here too. Yeah. Yeah, because you've got Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So it's important to be nurturing yourself with this. It does bring you the King of Wands, which is you stepping into your power and managing your energy. And then you're able to change directions with new information. And that helps you, not that you have to go around these barriers, but I feel like it helps you step through them. Let's see what these other four cards are here. Yeah. Yeah, because you've got, here's the higher love with the Page of Cups. That's, it's like this is the self-love. Here's the chalice, right? Again, having that chalice in your hand, it allows this new beginning, this freedom from obstacles, these freedom from things holding you back. You've got this positive, powerful Ace of Wands energy, King of Wands, Ace of Wands. It's, again, grasping your power allows, those things to come in. And then the Four of Pentacles is a solid foundation in the outside world. So I do feel here that very much possible for success and all this, but it has to do with, I feel like you've been trying to do a lot of stuff in the outside world, but that's why you feel like you're hitting the wall and not able to get past things, because it's your inner child that has the invisible force fields that are up, and you're like, why can't these things get to me? They're like right here. Why can't I get to them? Well, it's the discussion with the inner child. So, definitely, I had posted the Five of Pentacles, even the energy focus with your King of Wands and Ace of Wands. Checking out those two videos will give you some good information on each of them, provide a tool and awareness around managing our energy, and then how we can bring that from 1,000 to 1 down to 1 to 1 as well. So be sure to check those out if that resonates. But I do feel like it's definitely a possibility for sure. So that's what they have for you, my dear. And thank you again for your donation. I appreciate that. Yep. Yep. So that answers those. Okay. Just making sure I answered all your questions there. All right. So many blessings. And then HTTPS, thank you so much for your donation. And we get that love and a like there. And messages from your spirit team. Absolutely. I just saw your comment on your other video that popped in my email too. It's like, yeah, patience, right? Ugh. But where would we be without it? Impatient and stressed out, most likely, right? Let's see here. What do your spirit guides want you to know right now? Right. So I do want those. I do want that one. All right. Take a sip here. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles coming in here. Not Five of Pentacles. Wow, where am I? The Hierophant with it's the major arcana number 5. But we'll see if Five of Pentacles shows up. But this is a lot of clarity coming in, because this is your higher self drawing you in to see the capital T truth of who do I want to be? Who am I? What do I want? How do I want it? Blah 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 blah. Just a lot of clarity from up above, right? So they're drawing you up and seeing it. They're the master of change, being the major arcana number 5. So this kind of message of not um, being stubborn, I know, right? About it's okay to change, and it's sometimes we have this fixed kind of energy where it's like, well, I've been trying to do something, had to do something, wanting to do something for so long that it's hard to let some stuff go. But I feel like with this change coming, um, the master of change and the source of capital T truth, that it's okay that you will get this. In fact, you have 5 cards that came out. That was the bottom of the deck, and now you have 5 again. So change. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so transformation and change through the Hanged Man, again, seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective, and that it's as a caterpillar, is in the cocoon and the chrysalis and changing to a butterfly, it does let some of its self go because it needs it to make the wings. It needs things to change, and then it leaves cocoon behind. It doesn't, put it over its back and carry it with it. It's like, all right, there's some things that I feel like you've achieved in your life that maybe you're holding on to that you don't need to hold on to anymore. It's okay to let them go. Let's see what else comes in here. Yeah. So you have the tower. So this is the removal of things that no longer serve you. 3 major arcana so far. So I feel like there is the significant change of direction and something being removed out of your life, which you can remove. I feel like, what's wonderful when we're connected with spirit and when we learn to shut up and listen, we can hear the countdown before the lightning strike of the tower hitting something in our life. Most humans, we want to experience the electric shock treatment of the tower. We're like, I want to experience it right up till it needs to be removed out of my life. Towers happen, tower moments in our life. They're always for us, and things are moved out of our life to make space for things that will fit, or clear things out of our pathway so we can move forward. But so we don't have a ton of them in our life, but we do have them, and they're in place, which before we came down, we told spirit, if this is not removed by this time, then remove it for me so I can move on to the next, you know iteration or faded event or whatever, I want to experience. I'm like, I gotcha. But we can hear 10, 9, 8, and we can opt out of getting hit by the lightning bolt if we end it, if we clear it, if we expunge it from our life ourselves. If not, it will be removed for us. And I like this. It's not a threat. It's just they do it for us. So, it's just information, right? So let's take a look here. Another 5. So you have the 5 of swords. So there is this change of thought and belief and mindset. This, I don't feel like it's external conflict. I just feel like it's internal conflict between your head and your heart. It is something that your heart knows. It's like, I'm ready to let go of this, but the mind is like, oh, we never know, we might need that. Well, I don't know, are we ready for that? The fear of the mind is what comes in, and that's where the battling is happening between that here. It could have to do here with relationships with the 2 of cups. So this can be individual or individuals. I kind of feel like it's more the zzz, like there's a variety of people. And this can be like, lifelong friends sometimes. And we hang around with people and we're like, I want to help them. I don't want to give up on them. And they can have such different lives if they'll just listen to me. Right. But sometimes I learned this a lot through management in a corporation, and which was great. I worked for a great company that they trained and provided great information and guidance, and and there was like an 80-20 kind of thing. They're like, when you spend 80% of your time on 20% of the people, that's not productive. So it's like, there are I had direct reports and people who worked, that reported to me that didn't want to do the work, didn't want to get promoted, didn't want this kind of stuff, that were challenged. And I had this, I gotta make them successful. I gotta get them, excited. I gotta get them motivated. I had all these expectations on who I was supposed to be for them. But when my manager was like, you know what? You've got all of these people that, are you're going to wear yourself out, because I was trying to be everything to everyone. They're like, but all this energy you're investing, I don't expect that of you. You give them the same as you give everyone else. If they don't take it and run with it, that's okay. That's on them. You're giving everyone the same thing, but it's almost unfair that you're giving so much to these other people when there's other people that are willing to listen, other people that are willing to just take what you're wanting and run with it. And I feel like this is what they're saying here, is that it's okay to let some of these relationships go because they don't serve you anymore. And there are people who are so hungry for what you have to offer. These other ones that are going arguing and trying to blow holes in what you're saying or whatever, or being resistant. It's like, all right, you planted your seeds. Now you can go to more fertile fields in an intellectual way. And that's where I feel like this Five of Swords, maybe not be arguments, but there could have been deep discussions, not even heated discussions, but it just felt resistant discussions, if that makes sense. Because you have this reward, and you have this with the Six of Wands that's due for you and able to come for you. So just be aware of the energy and go, all right, I'm not going to, you can't force anyone to listen to you. And so just be aware of where you're investing your energy in, and that there are some, I feel it says relationships, that it's okay to let them go and not invest as much energy as you feel you need to, if that makes sense. All right, so that's what's coming in, HTTPS. So many blessings to you, and thank you again for the donation there. Yeah, I do have my kitty cat. It's a Shogun cat there. I just saw that, Nelia. It's my reminder of the cat mind. When we're in fear, we revert to our 2-year-old self with its pet hissing cat. And so it's the reminder of, if I'm not in unconditional love, this is the reminder that we get into the cat mind. That we hiss and attack, or hiss and run away. So it's an awareness shirt for me. All right. So thank you again, little brother. And then we have Johanna. Boom, boom. Hello. So thank you for your first donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. And just question, what is going on with you and S? All right. And then a general message from your guides will be up next after that. All right, perfect. So we got Johanna. Then we have, let me see here. Then we have Nova, and then Moonlight 5, and then to Infinity. So that's where we're at on donations right now, just to keep everyone in the loop. So let me take another sip here. Thirsty today. All right. So what's going on with you and S, Johanna? Right? Boom, boom, boom. None of those. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So what is going on here? Well, there definitely is some Wands energy. We've got the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So there's this joy, this celebration. There's like this energetic mutual attraction here too, with two on each side. So there is, and it's energetic stability, and then the card that came out in the middle here is the Page of Wands, which is a heightened, enhanced progression of energetic and can be physical attraction that comes in too. But there is this draw that's happening here. You got 3 cards and then that Page of Wands and then 3 more cards. So let's see here. I feel like it's tit for tat is what's happening here. So on one side, we've got this balancing energy where there's and maybe this is mirrored back and forth between the two of you too, because there's this balancing energy on one side trying to balance things in the outside world, and then on the other hand we've got the Aries energy with the Emperor, which is trying to decide what is wanted in life, and you know, indecision that's kind of coming in with all of that here too. And it's like trying to figure out what is it that I want, because once I decide, then I'll put energy, and I'll make a plan, and I'll put energy, and I'll have movement. But that's like the juggling and the trying to balance back and forth. Let's see what this next ones are here. Yeah. So on one side we've got focusing on some lower vibrational emotional energy, and then on the other we got emotional confusion. So there seems to be emotions that are, I don't want to say obstacles, but there are blockages, emotional challenges. Because if you think of an odd number, like an 8 would be 4 on each side and this flow in the middle, or a 4 or a 6, it's even. And so there's no obstacle. But when we have an odd number, it means something's like right in the middle that's not allowing movement, not allowing emotional flow yet. So, so that's what's going on there. And let's look at this other one here. Yeah. And so we've got here the Magician on one side, which is owning the power, owning the energy. Again, this Aries energy kind of coming in here about wherever I decide I focus on, then I'm going to grow it. But just feels like there's this indecision, this, I don't know, that's coming in here. And the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new opportunity that is going to be arising here to act, to step forward, it feels like. And but the Ace of Pentacles, though, is also about looking at our worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And I do feel like, we've got the World card on the bottom, which is an ending of old cycles, beginning of a new adventure. So there's this opportunity that's coming up with this, but I feel like there's just a lot of trying to see things from a higher perspective, and the shaking and the rattling of some long-held beliefs with the Devil card. That's like our Saturn return, where we have like this rattling of our cage of, I've been taught this all my life, the supposed to, shoulds, need tos, the shouldn'ts, the notn'ts, whatever. And it's like, but I'm, experiencing, trying to see things differently, see things outside of these small truths of fear. So I just feel like there's a lot of progression, a lot of like these emotional blockages are rooted in fears, of course. But they're based on fears from the past, echoes from the past of rejection for not doing what certain people wanted us to do. And that's how we're taught, through praise and punishment growing up. And so there's that fear of punishment. And it's like, but what am I afraid of? At some point in our life, we all kind of just rebel, against these thoughts and beliefs of our past. And the Saturn return, which starts around anywhere from 23, like from 23 to 33 is a big challenging time for most humans, with it culminating on like 28th, 29th year of our life as a human, because that's when Saturn returns back exactly where it was when we were born. That is the challenger of all these truths you thought were true, are small t truths rooted in fear. And they're lies, all lies. And so when we realize, oh, these stories that were told were not true, we start developing our own higher truth, our capital T truth, from seeing things from a higher perspective. And I feel like that's kind of what you're both going through. And that's why they have this mirror, because it's like you're kind of doing the same things um, at this time in your life, really trying to figure stuff out. So hopefully that helps. Let's see, what was the original question? I just went with spirit. So what's going on? Okay, so that's what's going on with you two. There's this emotional blockage because of those things. Um, but I like this magician and the Ace of Pentacles, which shows, depending on what energy we both put in, there can be an opportunity of seeing our worth in totally different ways, and just feeling the brightness that comes with that too. So I like it. I like it, Johanna. And then your number two, let's give that a love and a like there too. And so a general message from any of your guides. All right. The Saturn return. Yeah. You're like, what is all? You feel like a fish out of water, you know. And as I said that, there's like this literally a fish out of water over here. I was like, that's too funny, spirit. Ha ha ha. And this was the other card I was thinking of too, with the has the fish and the Ace of Cups here. So the swimminess of things, I see. I feel like for your spirit guides, I feel like we're being drawn to these Queen of the Moon Oracle. Just very, very moon, divine feminine moon energy. Yeah. Yeah. We still, Saturn return is the big energies, but um, we always have different challenges and things we go through as well. Okay, so from your spirit guides, you got the discernment card number 10 coming in here like this. Let me see. I'm just going to try to have it be clear. There it does. Look at that beautiful energy. Let's see what they bring in here. So it says, take care in your choices now. Look carefully and judge wisely. There may have been something difficult to see, something that has been obscured, but now it has been revealed to you. Examine it closely. The little mini affirmation says, I take my time to be accurate and precise in my discernment. It says, when you get some years on you, hopefully the time you spend moving and choosing upon this earth brings you some kind of wisdom. Some of that wisdom will be bred of hindsight and perspective. All of us, if we're engaged in life, make good decisions and poor ones. Sometimes we take we make spectacular bad ones. All of us get hurt others, learn, forget, fall over again, get up, but hopefully we grow, we change. We're able to spot where our sore points are and fix them if we so choose. We're able to take a good look at what is painfully reoccurring in our lives and deal with it. Yes, baby, deal. The secret here is discernment, real discernment, really making it a priority to take time to ensure acuteness of judgment, really looking at the fine print before you buy. Instead of taking things on face value or rushing into surface judgments, take your sweet time to form friendships and business relationships. Put your energy output into perspective, looking at evidence instead of only just believing. Feel and act when you're being trodden upon or having your boundaries overstepped or when something doesn't quite feel kosher. Ask clarifying questions and really listen to the answers offered, then act on the reality. That is growth. Is real pattern busting. That is the gathering of wisdom. The waxing gibbous moons, this is the first of the waxing gibbous moons. The overall themes of this part of the moon cycle are action and will. Companion stone for this is yellow jasper, if that so resonates. But I like this, awareness that we always do the best we can in the moment with what we have and what we know, right? And realizing that everyone does, allows us leniency on ourselves, gentleness on what we've learned before we've grown. It says hopefully we've grown, but you've grown by what you've experienced, what you know have encountered. And I don't believe in mistakes. I just feel like there's things that turned out differently than we expected or wanted or other people expected and wanted. That's okay. I've always feel like everything turns out perfectly and then we learn and grow from it. So it's always we come down here to experience. So we're always experiencing our lives, right? So I like that. Boom, boom, shakalaka. I'm glad you agree, Nova. All right. So those are your two there. So thank you, Johanna. I love that you're swimming, 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 enjoying the water. Yeah, and be sure to check out. I posted it earlier. The Cozy Bear, the last podcast that came out last Sunday. She talked all about water. So there's some great information in there. All right. And then Nova, Nova, Nova. We are to you. So let me just see here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Number 5 and number 6. Thank you for your multiple donations today. I so appreciate it. So the heart stickers, thank you for that. And you wanted to know here, why has your thought process been changing? You feel you're more of an adult for yourself, that your thoughts are more mature, less chaotic, and you're seeing through the chaos of your mind. All right. What a great change, huh? All right. So let's take a look here. All right. So what's going on here? Well, cards are flying. Yeah. So you got the 8 of Pentacles coming in here, and the 2 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. So you've been putting in the effort and the energy here. The 8 of Pentacles is really putting a lot of, energy into the blood, the sweat, the tears. So you've been putting in, um, you haven't just been existing. You've been really looking into stuff, putting energy into it, which is where this Ace of Wands is. You've been empowering yourself and doing those things, and um, and balancing and seeing your worth in relationship to the outside in a different way. So really, you are not who you were before. Yeah, yeah. You've been putting in and doing the things and evolving and changing and letting things go and focusing energy and taking responsibility. And that's the whole thing that kind of comes in there. I feel like you're going to get messages here about fears. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, like, maybe, maybe the 9 of swords, the 8 of swords, the 5 of swords. So, yeah, the 9 of swords is when I was seeing in my brain. But you've been overcoming these. The 5, the 8, the 9, the 8 is, where you were becoming aware of your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets that have kept you feeling blinded and bound and trapped in the past. And as you've been looking at things from a higher perspective, the cocooning, right? This is where clarity comes in. When we're in fight or flight mode, we feel confused. We have a lot of fears of not fitting in, not living up, of death, of all these things that as young humans we are inundated and flooded with all of this opinion and fear beliefs of the outside world, but which keeps us in a confused place because we're in fight or flight mode. When we're in fight or flight mode, as I was saying, cat mind or we've got this, right? And so there is this journey, this progression that's been happening here, and you've got the 7 of pentacles and the 6 of pentacles, so the balancing out of things again, and the taking the steps, putting the action, um, learning the patience and going with everything. Absolutely, spirit is proud. We've got this. It's not easy, and we've been talking about that today. This human adventure is not easy at all. It's like only the brave come down here, and so their spirit's very proud of that. Just that we are willing. What, you wanna go down to earth? You want to become a small little experience what it feels like to be a little small human and be veiled from connection where you feel like you're alone. You're not, but you feel like it. Yeah, 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 yeah. They're like, all right. Um, yeah, and so it's like, here we go, and a big piece is, of course, is the 9 of cups, which is like dreams come true type of energy that comes in. And so we realize that we've got this, this how do we want to uniquely express our heart to the world? And I feel like your dream, this is interesting how they're saying this, your dream has become purified because you've let it to go of a lot of fears around who you're supposed to be, what it is supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, and you're like really coming to this place of um, pure reflection of that unconditional love and doing that. So I do like that, because it's the more fears, it's the clarity that comes with it all. So I feel like that's what, why you feel like you've been changing, and it's adult because you feel like you're taking responsibility, you're making choices, you're disconnecting your worth from family and friends and everything else, and you're finding yourself worth instead of your retail price. And I feel like that's a big piece that's come in here for you as well. So I like that. All right. Let's see here. We've only got about a minute left. So, yeah, I know, right? That 18, I hear you. Our society has us at, this place of being, you're an adult when you're 18, 19, whatever. You know what? In the olden days, 14, 15 years old is when people were, considered marrying age and birthing age and all of that. It's our society that's changed. But, can you imagine at that age? I was like, I was so oblivious. So I like that our life expectancy is longer. All right. So Nova, I have one left for you, and then Moonlight, 5, Infinity, HTTPS, and Eagle. So we've got those are the donations that I did not get to yet. And then I didn't get to any free readings yet. So thank you guys for your patience in getting to those. I'm going to head off here in a moment to spend about an hour with my Praying Mantis members. And then I'm going to eat. So it'll be about an hour and a half. I should be coming back on ish. And we'll do the donations first. And then I will complete all the free readings as well. So thank you guys again for the patience and getting through to all of your readings. I'm so grateful for all the donations. It's how I earn my living and how I eat. So I so appreciate that. And but I do come back on to serve my community because I know not everyone is able to donate. So I do like to come back on and finish out all the free readings that I have now that I have time available to do that in my life because of all the donations. Otherwise, I'd be like, working a full-time job and be exhausted, right? And hardly do anything. So because of all this, I'm able to, um, do all this free stuff that I offer and able to do all this. So a big, big thank you to everyone. And thank you for all the thumbs up too. It does tell me you're enjoying these sessions and these videos. It does help spread the Zen love, and you're part of the love tsunami. So thank you for all of that. And I got the team. I got you included there too. So I will return in Domini. Let's see, Domini, if you have okay, yeah, I see here your question up here about working at Pizza Hut. Now I want pizza. So I will be back on to answer that question in about an hour and a half is when I'll start the session. But I'll probably be on for a couple hours probably when I come back because I got a handful of donations, which I dive deeper into. I'll do those first, and then we'll complete all the free readings after that as well. So thank you, Nova. I appreciate you too. Much love to you. And remember, everybody, as we're going through this beautiful adventure, right? Every second of every day of our lives, we truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, hang in there, take care of yourselves, much love, and we will see you soon.